Phoenix. Locked. Targeting Houston. Locked. Targeting Miami. Locked. Estimated casualties. Over 27 million.
Firing! They're uploading more targets to payloads 2, 3, and 4. Houston, what do we do?
Odin Control. We have no choice. We're scuttling the station. I'm sorry, Mosley.
Copy, Houston. Baker, we need to
Initiating in
move!
10 seconds. All crew, get to a secure area.
Storage is
Station
reinforced. Follow
detonation.
me.
In 3, 2, 1. Odin Control. Odin Control, are you copying?
Houston, it's mostly... Baker and I are still here. Holy shit.
Copy, Mosley. Odin targeting on payloads 3 and 4 have been aborted. But payload 2 is still sequencing. Targeting locked. San Francisco, Denver, Kansas City, Chicago, Washington, D.C.
We're not done, Baker. Let's move to Odin and bring it down. I don't think we're making it home, Baker. Atlas Main, how many degrees off axis to destabilize it?
23 degrees port or aft. But remote RCS systems are not responding.
23 degrees. We'll dump that tug in the ocean. How do I get this open? Hey, cover's off, Houston.
Ignite those RCS fuel lines.
You heard him, Baker! Fire! I got you, Baker! Just keep shooting!
Degrees. 23 degrees. That's it. That's enough to drop it into the atmosphere. Specialist Mosley. Kira. We have LOS with the crew of Odin Control. Repeat, loss of signal with Odin Control.
Welcome everybody, Josh here, back again today with a brand new and special product review here. We're talking about this, which is Call of Duty Ghosts Gold Edition on the PlayStation 4, the PS5, the Xbox Series S and X. Now the footage that you'll be seeing in this review is for the PlayStation 4 and 5 version of the game. I do have the game on PlayStation 4 and 5 through digital and physical copy, but I couldn't find my physical version to show you guys in this review, but it's the same cover art as you see here in this wallpaper on their site. So it's not really anything different, it's pretty much Call of Duty Ghosts. And what is Call of Duty Ghost in general? Well, there's this new organization called the Federation. They've been attacking people in the Middle East, and now they're going after the United States for some reason. You're not really given a reason as to why they're attacking not only the United States through an orbital bombardment, which is a pretty cool scene at the beginning of the game. You actually go into this coded system, and they're attacked by the Federation forces. You're forced to fight your way out, like the film Gravity, and the whole entire thing explodes as it's like bombarding San Diego. You eventually go to San Diego, California, where you are meeting the Walker family, which consists of Elias Walker, played by Stephen Lang, as well as his son David Walker, along with a German Shepherd named Riley. Now, Riley is a really cool character in this game just because of the fact that he really does bring in the team when they're on these missions. When you're actually in these high intense situations, you can actually send a Riley on missions for you to scout the area and attack bad guys as well, which is pretty cool. This game is pretty decent in terms of its story, even with the inconsistency of the campaign. I think that the campaign itself is actually really fun to play and go around and actually utilize the near future weapons that are actually in this game. You get your typical standard issue assault rifles, your pistols, your shotguns that are featured within the Call of Duty franchise. franchise, and this game doesn't really do anything new or revolutionary. It's pretty much a near future game where you're a ghost and you're trying to hunt down and take down Ajax, who's the main bad guy in the Federation. He's trying to wipe out the entire world. I don't really know his motivations for doing so, but apparently he's just pissed off and just wants to take over the entirety of the globe and wants to bring in everybody else along with him. And I think that's one of the things that really does make this game not hold up as well in terms of the story and the campaign as the other games in the franchise, like the Modern Warfare franchise, the Black Ops series, at least the first two games, or even the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which I just reviewed on this channel. There are some really cool parts of this game where you get to see San Diego being bombarded by orbital bombardment with the Odin system. There's a lot of really cool missions like that strewn throughout the entirety of the game, and I think that the Call of Duty franchise is known for having its major set pieces. It's pretty much the staple of the Call of Duty franchise, and a lot of the Call of Duty Ghost missions with the set pieces involve buildings toppling down, buildings kind of crash around you, and you're trying to fight desperately to survive as things are pretty much going to shit in a handbasket. And I think that that's one of the things that really does make this game, while not really interesting by any measure, is the fact that this game does have a lot of set pieces. It's your typical standard issue first-person shooter narrative where you are the son of this general, you are a military family, and Stephen Lang is the father figure that you are looking up to in terms of leadership as well throughout this entire horrific situation. Call of Duty has been known for taking a lot of really cool voice actors from Hollywood, elevating them beyond their roles that they're originally in terms of their film properties. And I think that with Call of Duty Ghosts, there are some really memorable one-liners in this game. There's some really memorable cutscenes that do take place in the Call of Duty campaign. The cutscenes of this game are pretty awesome in terms of the game's storyline and campaign. It is written by a Hollywood screenwriter as well, so it adds a level of detail that you otherwise wouldn't add in terms of a single-player campaign. This game is made by Activision Blizzard and Infinity Ward and came out in 2013, and I think that even in 2013, this game still looks amazing in terms of the graphics. It's a little bit gray in its tone, similar to that of a realistic war movie. Everything is dreary, and it feels like a battle-hardened, war-torn situation like what you're in these games. You're going from point A to point B, taking down these military installations, these bases, and then fighting bad guys along the way. And I think that, like some of the previous Call of Duties in the past, this game really takes the action-heavy set pieces to an elevated level with this game. And so people might not find these action-heavy set pieces interesting by any stature, but I think that this game in itself is a really fun game to experience, even when you're going back and going through the old school Call of Duty games, just because of the fact that this game did release complete and on the disc on day one. There wasn't really any day one patches, there wasn't any day one DLC. It was complete on the disc, and if you wanted to buy the map packs later, you could actually do so, and you wouldn't have to worry about buying the skins and buying all the extra shit that I think has ruined Call of Duty as a whole. And I think that with the game's story campaign being 6 to 8 hours long, you can easily get through this game in the span of a couple of days, and I actually beat this game not even that long ago, taking like probably even less time than that to beat. So I think that if you're doing all the objectives, it can take a little bit longer. If you're trying to get all the trophies, you could spend a couple of more days playing this game, but you really don't need to spend that much time playing through this campaign, because I think the campaign is interesting. There's a lot of really cool elements, but it's not really top-notch like Call of Duty Modern Warfare was, or even Advanced Warfare, or some of the other Call of Duty games that I played in the past, like the rebooted franchise with the first two games. And I think that's one of the things that really annoyed people a lot with the Call of Duty Ghost campaign, is because it had a really cool story element with trying to figure out who these Ghost characters were, or at least who's Ghost in terms of the context of the Modern Warfare franchise. But this is basically a spin-off game featuring Ghost as a military organization that's hunting down bad guys and doing everything in their power to save humanity from certain destruction. So in that context, I think it's really cool. There's some really cool elements and weapons that you do get along the way. There's a lot of really cool futuristic weapons that do show up in this game. There's some gadgets that appear in this game that are really cool, especially in the multiplayer. And the multiplayer modes consist of team deathmatch, capture the flag, as well as round war, which is big team battles, typical standard Call of Duty fare. I think that the multiplayer for its time was pretty cool, even though I didn't get to play any of it for this review. I do have a gaming channel where I have posted a bunch of gameplay walkthroughs, but I don't think I really have those saved anymore. So I think that for the review itself, I probably won't be able to jump on any of the Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer matches, just because of the fact that they don't really have them at the moment. And I think that any servers that are still active are probably filled with hackers and bots. So for this review, I probably won't be actually playing any of the Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer modes for this, but you can actually go through multiplayer and play this game if you so choose to. So I think that the multiplayer was really cool. The single player campaign was also pretty decent. It wasn't anything revolutionary like the other games in the past have been. This game does borrow a lot of elements from Halo and some of the other Call of Duty games, as well as first-person shooters like Doom and Quake and Wolfenstein that have come before it. So it's not really doing anything different than it hasn't done before. They did add some new features with the weapons and the gadgets that you do get in this game, the futuristic tone to it. So there's some differences between this game and the Modern Warfare franchise, but I think that the story's campaign was seen as relatively weak at the time. I think that even though I enjoyed it for what it was, I think that a lot of people didn't enjoy it that much. So I think that if you're buying this for $20 and not the full $60 price tag, you're probably getting a lot of bang for your buck in terms of the game single player campaign if you want to go back and actually re-experience this for yourselves and play this game if you haven't played this game already. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Call of Duty Ghost as a video game itself. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you one of those people that actually played a lot of the multiplayer like myself, even though you didn't really really like some of the maps and stuff like that because they're way too big. Did you like some of the other games in the Call of Duty franchise? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Look at what you did. You're good. You'd have been a hell of a ghost. But that's not gonna happen. There ain't gonna be any ghosts. We're gonna destroy him together.